want some sauce?
Scene 1, Apple, take 1.
So let's go ahead and make a Whataburger, okay? And it's not water, W-A-T-E-R, it's Whataburger. But it sounds like you're saying Whataburger, but it's Whataburger, okay? And in Tucson, Arizona, they have these. And I think they also have them in Texas and some other places like New Mexico and stuff like that. It's definitely a Southwest thing. They don't have this in California. But Whataburger, even though it's very simple and basic, there's just something that's just so amazing about the flavor of it. And everyone I know that's ever had one, they say, wow, that's one of the greatest hamburgers I've ever had. And it is. Let's go ahead and start with the meat. I'm going to be using some basic ground beef. And the thing about Whataburgers is the patty is thin, but it's large. What I'm going to do here is I'm just going to end up using the parchment paper to kind of squeeze out the patty. And if I wanted to, I could even use a roller just to make sure that everything is the exact same size. Okay, it's thin. And for a Whataburger, to me, this is about the right size. It's going to shrink, and that's one thing you got to keep in mind. Now, they have a secret spice blend, or they'll just call it a seasoning blend. Okay, some people say that it's a combination of salt, pepper, and garlic powder, but I am here to tell you it is just salt and pepper. There is no garlic powder in it. Okay, now how do I know that? Well, because if you get on the website, it actually tells you the ingredients. Now, this right here is kosher salt. We're going to be putting a little bit of ground black pepper on this. No need to go too crazy with it. And we're going to be adding just a touch of garlic powder. I know I said that there was no garlic powder in it. That's true, but they have garlic powder in their mustard. Okay, and we're going to be using just regular old mustard that doesn't have the garlic powder. So to overcome that, we're going to put a little bit of garlic powder on the meat. We're going to make sure that that stuff stays in the meat. So once again, now it's embedded in the meat. We want this to have somewhat of a charred flavor, which means we don't want to fry this on a low temperature. We want to fry this on a very, very hot temperature, and then we want to flip it over. Because you have to remember, fast food, they're trying to cook these things as fast as they possibly can. The quickest way to make sure that it gets cooked fast is a thin patty at a very high temperature. I'm going to let this pan get really nice and hot. A little bit later, we're going to be using this pan in order to butter our bun. Let's go ahead and throw our patty in here. Put a little bit more salt on this side too. And what we want to do is we want this one side to be almost charred. We want it to be cooked at a high temperature. We want to see some dark marks on it when we flip it over. Okay, so what we're seeing here is the outside is starting to brown. That is a good sign that it's time to turn it over. We have a little bit of that browning. It'd be better if it was darker, but that's okay. We're going to let this cook until it browns just a little bit too, and then we'll be golden. So I've got my homemade hamburger bun that I had made a little earlier, and I'm going to be slicing through this guy. And it's very soft, which is really good because Whataburger's buns are very soft. Our piece of meat is done. Okay, let's go ahead and prep the buns here. As you can see, I had already cut the bun, and now what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting butter on the base of this. And then throwing the hamburger bun on there. we're going to be doing a combination of toasting this and giving it butter at the same time. And as soon as this one's done, I'm going to do the same thing to the bottom. You're going to notice that this particular type of bun is definitely more like a Whataburger's bun. I'm going to call that good. We'll do the same thing for the bottom portion of the bun. I imagine by now, whew, that's hot. That's good. So we're going to end up putting our mustard on here, and I'm just using a regular Heinz yellow mustard. One thing about their hamburgers is they do put a lot of mustard on it. In fact, they might even put more than that. We'll put our patty on here. Now if you wanted to put cheese on it, obviously you'd put cheese. They use American cheese, large pieces. So double up on the American cheese. One of the problems with American cheese is depending on who makes it, flavor is completely different as well as the texture. So I've got a fresh tomato. I'm going to take out my mandolin slicer here, and I'm going to cut a few pieces of tomato. I'll put one more on there because I know my wife likes tomatoes. My camera died, so I'm going to have to do it with this one. Anyway, according to the website, they say that they use yellow onion for the onion. I always thought that it was actually white onion, but I'm going by the website. So what they end up doing is they throw their yellow onion on the top here. After that, they've got their lettuce. And this is iceberg lettuce. And then hamburger pickles. Now this right here, of course, is just the standard Whataburger. They build it this way because there's a wrapper that's underneath it that they wrap up. But because I don't have a wrapper, I'm going to end up having to kind of do it like this. Okay, grab it, give it a flip. There we go. Now the type of mustard that I was using is just a regular Heinz mustard. In their mustard they put garlic powder. The types of pickles that I'm using are Vlasic ovals. These are good. I used a yellow onion. I used a vine ripened tomato. As far as the cheese goes, they do say it's American cheese on the website. As I had mentioned before, when you go out and you buy American cheese, depending on who makes it, the flavor is different. You know, Kraft American cheese is going to taste different than some other American cheese. And for those people that don't live in the United States, American cheese is almost like a processed cheese, almost like a Velveeta. And of course, with other Whataburgers, you can, you know, up the stakes. You can put your jalapenos on there, and they'll put pickled jalapenos on there. You can put your bacon on there, a few strips of bacon. That'd be cool. You can do double meat, double cheese, right? If you do plan on putting cheese and you use American cheese, make sure you put 2 slices, because the fast food places use really thick American cheese. It's almost like equivalent to like 2 slices, right? So make sure you put 2 slices of it on there. But anyway, guys, that is that. That is the homemade Whataburger, and it smells like a Whataburger in here, and it looks like a Whataburger, and I'm telling you, I know it's going to taste like one. So until next time, guys, I will talk to you later.